Well, good evening. Welcome to our second concert. Glad to see you here. We're going to have to recruit a few more young people here, or maybe I'll have to recruit some older people. Who knows? All right, tonight we're going to celebrate the music of the young and the young at heart. That's going to include some classics like the Hokie Pokie, the Chicken Dance. We're going to play some marches made up of kids' songs from the mid-19th century to Disney movies from the 21st century. So we're going to provide you with a couple chances to participate too. I know you were wondering. So here we go. We're going to get started. But first, we want to thank our sponsors for this evening's concert. Not those guys on the cycles. The Rotary Club of Lake Mills and the Lake Mills Area Community Foundation. Both are groups that provide very positive service to the Lake Mills area community. We also have the Optimist Club over there. You see the big wheel on a table over there. They're recruiting for this Saturday, the Big Wheel Race. So if you have an interest in that, you have to be under the age of 45 to participate. So, okay, just so you know. But talk to the optimists over there. Get your reservation in for 11:30 in the morning, I believe, on Saturday after the parade. So now we appreciate the support from. We've had sponsors and people who donated to us, and we very much appreciate that, just as we appreciate having the audience here tonight. I really appreciate seeing the way it's filled in for up until a few minutes ago. I know that it's not the easiest to get to, like when you can park right out on this street, so appreciate the effort you made to be here. First, we're going to open, as we always do, with God Bless America. Thank you. Edwin Franco Goldman was one of the most famous band directors and composers of the first half of the 20th century. His band was considered the successor to John Philip Sousa's following Sousa's death in 1932. Around that time, Goldman composed a children's march based on, as he said, tunes the youngsters sing. I don't know how many youngsters still sing these, but I think you're going to recognize quite a few of them. Here's the Children's March. Thank you. Well, since tonight's program is tied to the young and the young at heart, we're going to feature kids in several pieces. And for the next two pieces, I'd like to get as many kids as we got here down in this open area if you can. Have me, I guess again 45 and under, but. You're going to be not only good, you'll be outstanding if you're right up here,
I could do a different dance, different music.
Well, we're going to have several to choose from. You got chicken dance, Hokie Pokie, later on YMCA. All right. Well, the first song we're going to play is one you hear at almost any Badger game and in many weddings. It's an audience participation as well. You don't have to be up front here to do this one. Let's get we got as many kids as we can down here. I'm killing time to see if any more come up. Oh, all right, the holdout's up there. I love it. Great, good, thank you. This tune is going to involve you all acting kind of like birds. Here it is, the chicken dance, and if you remember, Da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da 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 dum. Okay, I don't want to wear you out. So here we go. I'll cue you when we start. When you start. A little intro and then it's you. Oh, wait a minute. Don't go back to your seats. No. No. You heard me mention chicken dance, but then another one, too. So, I'll give you a little hint. You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out, you put your right hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey. When you turn yourself around, that's what it's all about. All right? Here we go with the hokey pokey. There's going to be 3 notes, and then you start. I'll turn and cue you. And we'll start with right hand in, you put your All right. So we're going to continue now with a march that many of the older kids in the audience, like my age, may have played in school band. Courage March was composed by Harold Bennett. The fact is, there is no Harold Bennett. It was a pseudonym that Henry Fillmore used for musical pieces that he composed for school bands. This piece was also arranged for modern bands by Nick Contorno, who in addition to directing the 1st Brigade Civil War Band, also served as director of bands at Marquette University prior to his death in 2014. So here it is, Courage March. All right. One company that has played a prominent role in the lives of almost all children for the last 100 years was started by a young cartoonist whose Imagineering took off after he gave life to a little mouse named Mickey in a cartoon called Steamboat Willie. Disney Studios, Disneyland, and Disney World have played and still do play a prominent role in the lives of most young people. Tonight we're going to feature a medley from a relatively new Disney film. This medley features several songs from Disney's animated feature film Frozen. That makes a hit with Dane. Okay. These include Whaley, Do You Want to Build a Snowman, For the First Time in Forever, and Let It Go. Here are highlights from Frozen. Thank you. Well, now we're going to get a little spooky. The Haunted Carousel was conceived as a piece for band utilizing the sound of a theremin. If you've seen some science fiction movies, usually in black and white from the 50s, you might have heard a theremin. It was an electronic instrument used in the 40s and 50s in science fiction and horror movies. The original theremin was played by passing your hand over an electronic coil. Today we recreate that sound with an iPad and the GarageBand app and the keyboard skills of one of our percussionists, Gabby Dressel. So here is the Haunted Carousel. I apologize for those of you that got too scared. The Liberty Bell. This is a march that was originally written for an unfinished operetta by John Philip Sousa. While attending the Columbian Exposition in 1893 in Chicago, Sousa and his manager George Hinton watched a spectacle called America, in which a big painted backdrop depicting the Liberty Bell was lowered onto stage. Hinton suggested the Liberty Bell for the title of Sousa's unnamed march, and coincidentally Sousa had just received a letter from his wife saying that their son had marched in a parade in honor of the Liberty Bell. So with that, Sousa agreed, the march was published, and the new march was an immediate success. For Liberty Bell, we have a special guest conductor tonight. Somebody over there with their horn is already welcoming him. I don't know. Dom Gish has been with the Lake Mills High School Band. He was the director for some time prior to assuming his new role this past school year. Dom has just completed his first year as assistant principal at the Lake Mills Elementary School, and I've seen him tonight. It looks like he's still on one piece, so that's good. In fact, the Leader had a nice article, or has a nice article this week about the summer school program and its director, who is Dominic Gisha. So we're going to welcome Dom back. Please welcome him to his old musical stomping grounds as he directs the Liberty Bell March. Now we're going to play a piece by a popular contemporary composer, Frank DeKelly. His piece that we'll play tonight centers on the joy he experienced with the birth of his first child. To quote Mr. DeKelly, the main melody and overall mood of the work was inspired by one signal event, the birth of our first child. He goes on to say the intense feelings were accompanied by a melody that he could not escape until he wrote it down in his notebook. 7 years and 2 children later, he stumbled upon his notebook and discovered that it would probably serve perfectly as the foundation for a joy-filled concert overture. And here it is, Joy. Thank you. The Teddy Bear's Picnic is a song written in 1907 by American composer John Bratton. The lyrics were added in 1932 by Irish songwriter Jimmy Kennedy. It remains very popular in the United Kingdom as a children's song, having been recorded by a number of artists over the years. The piece was written in the wake of a story about then President Theodore Roosevelt, in which, while hunting, he came upon a small bear cub who he refused to shoot. The story ran in the wire services, and from that, shortly thereafter, teddy bears became quite popular. Tonight's performance will include a special vocal by our own little trumpet teddy bear. If I have to, I'll apologize to get you to sing, okay? All right, okay. Jim Cates, he has a special vocal rendition of the part of this. So here it is, the Teddy Bears Picnic.
Picnic time for teddy bears. The little teddy bears are having a lovely time today. Watch them catch them unawares and see them picnic on their holiday. See them gaily gad about. They love to play and shout. They never have any cares. At 6 o'clock, their mommies and daddies will come to take them home because they're tired little teddy bears.
Jim's going to probably want to sing every concert now. John Philip Sousa was called the March King because of the many, many marches that he composed. Some are very familiar, like the Stars and Stripes Forever, or the Liberty Bell that we just heard. Others are much less well known. One of the seldom played marches in the Sousa band repertoire, and this is kind of neat, all of Sousa's marches are now available on the Marine Band website, as long as they were composed prior to 1927. They're in the public domain at this point. So it's a whole nother source of some historic literature for us to explore. One of the seldom played marches was this medley of nursery songs. In one incident with this march, Sousa's sense of humor came through. He had a particularly unresponsive matinee audience. Now, don't take anything personally here. I'm not talking about you guys. No, Sousa quietly said to the band, "If they're going to act like children, we'll give them the children's music. Get up, Mother Goose." And it got to be a standing joke with the band that if the audience was not responding, the band members would nudge each other and say, "The old man's about ready to give him Mother Goose." And here it is. I'm sure that had a different meaning in 1883. Here it is, Mother Goose March. Thank you. All right, time for our dance crew to come back to the front here. All right, good. This YMCA. This is a disco song from the group The Village People. I'm sure you guys all are familiar with disco. The song remains popular and is played at many sporting events, even though it was released originally in October of 1978. We're going to perform it right here, and it will involve all of you. You all can do it right in your seats. YMCA. Yeah. This, you know, I've tried for 2 years to get this right. And I think maybe third time's the charm here. I'm going to ask one of our percussionists, Karen Johnson, to come forward to direct this piece, since I have a hard enough time trying to figure out where to put my hands. So we're going to give it a try. Here is YMCA. Let's get some more. We really had some ladies grooving over here. They're trying to get out of line of sight, but. All right. We're going to continue with a piece called Barnyard Blues, also known as Livery Stable Blues. It's a jazz composition from 1917, one of the first jazz compositions recorded by the Victor Talking Machine Company with the original Dixieland Jazz Band. It was JASS back then. In keeping with the barnyard theme, you're going to hear ducks, horses, cows, and maybe even a rooster. Here's Barnyard Blues. Our last piece tonight is one most of you will recognize. If you were to ask pop music lovers what song defined the year 2015, at least the top contender would be Uptown Funk. This groovy, I'm having a hard time. I'm doing this because it shows I'm hip and with it, you know. Which my daughters have told me if I just use that phrase, it totally wipes out any hip or with it you got. But this groovy funk pop track, which features none other than Bruno Mars on vocals, quickly became a hit worldwide. Uptown Funk has everything you want in a dance floor anthem, sass style, and plenty of funk. So here it is. You can have the funkometer out there and see if you can measure how much we got. But here it is, Uptown Funk. Thank you. Well, we hope to see you here 2 weeks from tonight on July 5th. And not surprisingly, the theme for that concert is going to be a salute to America. So we hope to see you there, and we look forward to that. Now, if you are able, please rise and join us in the singing of our national anthem.